Hello Theo, thanks for joining.
Hello, Maniac. How are you today?
All well, man. So today we are going to discuss like how your experience about hiring a freelancers. Did you find it well? Give me more idea about it.
Okay, awesome. Well, I love hiring freelancers. I think it's a very cost-effective way to do business.
Hmm.
Also, I find it very sort of valuable in my business. In terms of sort of finding the right freelancer, I recommend using different sort of websites to have freelancers. So I recommend Upwork, Elance, Freelancer. There's a bunch of them that you can sort of have a look on and see which one has some of the best freelancer for you. They're all different in terms of pricing and and what kind of talent is on there. So that's sort of where I would start in terms of hiring a freelancer.
So how you make sure like they understand your requirement well and they deliver it well?
That's a good question. Um, the first thing you should do is look at their sort of their portfolio. So make sure they work with some good companies, trustworthy companies, and they will obviously tell if they can do the job and if they've got a skill for it. Secondly, I recommend having a review with them. So having a face-to-face like we are doing now and just seeing can they answer some tough questions, throw some tough questions at them. Can they answer it fast? Do they have great ideas? And also the most important thing is do you guys actually connect? Do you guys have that sort of connection where you can talk to each other and it's comfortable and you feel like you can work with each other? I think that's important.
Okay, and what about the time zone? Because you are in different time zone and developer team is different time zone. So did you find any difference or any problem with the time zone?
Okay, I think with time zone, it's not really the time zone that's a problem.
Uh-huh.
I think it's more your processes and the applications they're using that's a problem. There's a lot of great applications out there which you can use. For example, I use Basecamp.
Okay.
This allows you to sort of list all your tasks that need to be done,
So,
and from there you can actually assign your freelancer on those tasks. So while you're not actually at your desk or you're not working, your freelancer come in and do the work for you, which I think is pretty awesome. So it's not really about the times are different. It's about setting up the right tools so your freelancer can work whenever whenever the work needs to be done, pretty much.
so how you like pricing wise, did you find any advantage hiring the freelancers?
Pricing wise,
Um,
I think go on. Yeah, explain that question a bit more.
uh-huh. Okay, and like what about the project management? If suppose there is a designer, developers, and some other people are there. So managing a team that too remotely, did you find any challenges like working in face to face or managing a remote team?
I think they both have their pros and cons.
Hmm.
Working face to face, I mean, you can have straight communication right away. But then again, you might find talent overseas that is much better than the one you have locally. So that's a pro as well. Obviously, sometimes communication can be slow overseas, while communication can be fast locally. But as I said before, it sort of depends on your process and the way you set things up. I personally like working with people overseas. You get to see new culture, get to meet new people. They always have different ideas to people that go locally. They see new things. The world sort of operates differently in their country, so they can bring new things to the table. And yeah, so that's that answers my question.
You love hiring freelancers or managing people locally?
Personally, I like hiring freelancers just because, as I said before, they bring new things to the table, like new sort of ideas.
And how,
Locally, yeah, sorry, go on.
so how you manage the payment and all? Like how you make pay them?
Okay, well, with payment, right, we set up milestones for the work.
Okay.
So before we sort of start work, is that we split it up in sort of different milestones. And then once a milestone is complete, we obviously release a payment for them. This sort of works for them. This sort of works for us as well. It's a really good sort of system to have in place.
Are you
And we use,
are you using any payment provider, or like how you they receive a payment, how you receive the invoices and something?
Okay, well, with payment, we use PayPal at the moment.
Okay.
That's sort of the safest sort of payment gateway we can use. So they just invoice us through PayPal, and then from there we just pay them through the application, and it's instant. So the next day they'll have the payment, and it's very sort of secure sort of payment system as well.
Cool. Any advice that you want to give to the people who are willing to hire a remote team?
Well, I would say go for it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet new people. They bring new ideas to the table. And if you set up everything properly, you'll be paying, half the cost that you would locally, and you also won't have to micromanage them, always be on top of their back trying to do things. You can find some really great talent overseas, and I think it's worth a shot.
Thanks a lot. I heard like why people hire a remote team, because all the great talents are not living in one place. That's why people love to hire a remote team. And thanks a lot for joining and answering all the questions. Wish you very best.
My pleasure, man. Yeah, thank you.